Rangers Journal.
Hello and welcome to the Rangers Journal. My name is Kai Watson and today's going to be the first episode in a new series where we look at three players to watch from each group at Euro 2024. We're going to look at players based on the kind of realism of the fact they may be able to join Rangers or players that our scouts may be looking at during the competition. You would hope with scouts there anyway, you'd imagine that they would be watching. So I kind of looked at players from each group and in the teams that I think there's potentially a realistic chance they might come to Rangers. Obviously, not all of them are going to be realistic. It was actually quite difficult picking three players because you look through some of the teams and you think that some of the weaker nations may have players that would be easier for Rangers to target, but a lot of those players are still playing in top levels and in top leagues and they're worth a lot of money. So I did my best. So we're going to start by looking at Group A. Group A contains Germany, Scotland, Hungary, and Switzerland. So we're going to look at three players from Group A who I think Rangers may have a realistic chance of getting. So let's get started. So the first player we're going to look at is Marton Dardai, 22-year-old Hungarian, 6'1", and currently plays for Hertha Berlin. Transfer market having valued at 2.2 million. 29 appearances last season, 27 from the start. He had one assist, 79% pass accuracy, 46% long ball accuracy, 1.4 interceptions per game, and 1.4 tackles per game. Also, 3.6 recoveries per game, 53% ground duels won, and 54% aerial duels won. So Dardai can play as a centre back, and the CDM is perfectly comfortable in both positions. Can easily transition between playing at centre back and playing as a number six. He's also left sided, which I know kind of everybody loves. Everybody's looking for those left sided centre backs. So he's tall, good in the ball, obviously got good experience playing for Hertha. He's actually the son of Paul Dardai, a name that a lot of you probably recognise, former Hungarian international, and now he's playing for the Hungarian national team himself. So he's also playing both positions for Hungary, but more likely to play at centre back in the tournament. Again, just a really good player. Like I said, he has height, he's got good experience, left sided, good on the ball. Type of player we really should be looking at, and the fact that the transfer market haven't valued at 2.2 million. Hertha were probably expecting to come back in the Bundesliga, but they finished mid-table last season, so he's the type of player that may be looking to take a step up. I know Hertha have obviously kind of brought him through, they've given the chance at first team football, but I don't think he or anyone involved with the club would have expected him to be languishing in mid-table in Bundesliga too. So I think he could be an option. It'll be interesting to see if he does start the kind of first games for Hungary, if he does play in the group stage. I think he's definitely capable of playing at that level. Like I said, comfortable playing centre half, comfortable playing as a number six. So just a really good player that can cover both positions. And again, solid on the ball, left sided, exactly what you're after. And the next player is actually a really interesting one. So Callum Styles, 24-year-old Hungarian international, 5'11", currently plays for Barnsley, obviously qualifies for Hungary through his grandparents. Transfer market having valued at 2.2 million. So I'm going to look into his stats for Barnsley. So he spent the first 6 months of the season there and then the second 6 months at Sunderland. So the stats you see on the screen are the Barnsley stats, and I'll just quickly go through Sunderland stats as well. So 20 appearances in League One, 16 from the start, 3 goals and 2 assists, 80.8% pass accuracy, 36.4% long ball accuracy, 0.63 chances created per 90, 67.9 tackles won per 90, 38.3% duels won, and 4.95 recoveries. Styles is essentially a central midfielder that can also cover the left hand side of the midfield and left back. So again, another player that's very versatile. Good at left back, but I'd probably say he excels in central midfield. It's his best position again. Left footer, very good on the ball, kind of good at breaking up play, good at driving forward. Just a typical all-round number eight, and that was obviously his first half of the season. That got him the move on loan to Sunderland for the second half of the season. So we'll just quickly go through some of his numbers for his time at Sunderland in the Championship. So played 12 matches, 10 from the start, managed to get one assist, pass accuracy was 82.2%, 0.89 chances created per 90, 42.9% dribble success, also 1.23 fouls, 1 per 90, 63.6% tackles won, 51.9% duels won, 41.7% aerial duels won, 5.46 recoveries. So again, numbers that are just kind of standard that kind of shows you what you get from Callum Styles. You get a player that's good in the ball, good passer, obviously, really good recovery numbers on both ends, good percentage of tackles won, likes to get stuck in, very solid player. Again, a big, great option as a number eight. That kind of box to box maybe won't always crash the box and it isn't always going to get you kind of 5 to 10 goals a season, but he will get you a couple of goals, will get you a couple of assists. Valued at 2.2 million, obviously currently plays for Barnsley and Sunderland haven't made that move permanent as of yet. But it's an interesting one. He was obviously played really well in League One last season and played well in the Championship, so he's shown he can step up a level. He's obviously played quite a bit for Hungary now as well, so I'd expect him to start. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays in the group and see if he manages to win a move this summer. The last player is actually one I had done in advance, and then Scott Burns reported that Rangers and Celtic were looking at him. So Tommy Conway, 21 years old, just made his Scotland debut, and obviously he's in the Euro squad. Put him up, having listed at 5'10". I think he might be a little bit closer to 6 foot. Currently plays for Bristol City. Transfer market have valued at 3.3 million, but his contract is expiring next summer. And Scott Burns had reported when he was saying Rangers and Celtic were interested that if his contract does expire, it would only be 300k that either club would have to pay upon the expiry of his contract as a development fee. So I don't think Bristol City will get the 3.3 million transfer market having valued that, but I still think they'll be looking to get a couple of million for him if they're going to sell this summer. Looking at his key stats, 39 appearances, 27 from the start, 10 goals, 1 assist from 9.28 xg, 19% conversion rate, 209 minutes per goal contribution, 42.9% dribble success, fouled just under 1 time per 90, 33.2% duels won and 14.1% aerial duels won. So obviously the duel numbers and the aerial duels are really low there. But if you've ever watched Tommy Conway, you know he's kind of all action. He presses really well, gives 100%, finds himself out in the wing quite a lot. He's not a kind of standard lone striker. He's not the type of striker I say we'd had at Rangers. He's maybe similar to Dessers in the positions he picks up and the way he plays, but just a lot more mobile. Like I say, he presses really well. He drives out on the wing, gets himself on the ball. 19% conversion rate is really good, but the thing to know, playing with Bristol City, he's not playing for a club that create a lot of chances. He's not playing for a team that are kind of used to dominating the ball. So it'll be interesting to see how he make that transition. Obviously, coming to Rangers, it'll be interesting to see how he does for Scotland if he does get a lot of minutes, because that could really up his value going into the summer and kind of get a lot of eyes on him. He did look sharp when he came on against Finland. He was unlucky not to get a goal. So it'll be interesting to see how his minutes play out between Shankland's fitness and how much Steve Clarke fancies Che Adams. So Conway's definitely one to watch. Obviously, like I said, I had this profile done in advance, and then the reports came out in the papers that Rangers and Celtic were potentially going to look at him. So one to keep an eye on, a player that I do like, not as a first choice striker right now. Like I say, it'll be interesting to see how he does in a team that creates a lot of chances, and we'll see how that conversion rate does if Rangers do decide to get him in. But definitely one to keep an eye on with his contract expiring next summer. So that's the first episode of the series. I'm going to do these daily until every group's covered. So a lot more interesting players come. Again, it's something really interesting you look into. You obviously know if you follow the channel or follow us on Twitter that I love looking into players. So it's nice looking at the squads and kind of picking players out that I think could be potentially realistic targets. Like I said, I'm not going to say they're all completely realistic, but pick the most kind of realistic options in my eyes anyway. So hopefully we'll be able to talk about some interesting players. And if you enjoyed the first episode, don't forget to like and subscribe and have a great day.